Can you say your name?
Matthias.
Hey, what is it?
Matthias.
How old are you?
4.
Yay! Thank you.
When are you going to be 5?
For my birthday.
On your birthday, you're going to be 5.
When's your birthday?
Carsley.
When Cars 3 comes out.
Cars 3 comes out. All right, that's good. Thank you. Wait, can we pause?
And Dyson Storm.
Okay, so what has worked well with Matthias's IEP?
The main thing I can think of is that he finally has teachers that are specialized in the industry, in the special education industry. And so when he acts out, or when he gets frustrated, or when he does something that's out of the normal, they know what to do. They know how to handle it, and I don't have to worry about getting a phone call from the principal every day like I used to at his other school, saying that he is violent and he needs to go home ASAP. So they understand, they're working with him, and that gives me comfort.
Perfect. What parts of the process were the most challenging for you?
It was a big process. It started we started this in February, and we finally got everything resolved in August. So it took a while. The most frustrating part was seeing the psychologist. We were in a room, Matthias, his baby sister, and me, and then 2 other of his assistants. And they were, I thought that I was going to go in there and everything was going to be fine, and they were going to look at me like I was some weirdo, thinking, why are you here? You have 2 really intelligent kiddos, and there's nothing wrong with them, with Matthias, with you. You're free to go. But instead, they were nitpicking every single thing, and from the way he was holding his pencil, from the way he would answer questions, from the way he would look at certain things, from the way he would sit on a chair. And at this time, he was 3 years old, and to me, he was like any other 3-year-old. So at the end, when the psychologist told me that Matthias is a definite candidate for the IEP, to have an IEP, and for the special education system, and he's definitely autistic, and da-da-da-da-da, I lost it.
Like, it was completely not what you imagined being there with, right?
No, I left there with tears in my eyes, thinking that I have this special ed kid, and life is going to be hell from now on.
Right.
That's the feeling that I got.
Yeah, I understand. And he just doesn't seem like it.
No, he's just, maybe he has some OCD, nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And he is super intelligent, and his brain just gets bored a lot.
I feel like it would be difficult to diagnose him based off how he held his pencil.
Yes.
He was 3.
Yes, and this only lasted for a few minutes, too. So I'm sure, no disrespect to this psychologist, but this is my son. I think I know him better than any psychiatrist out there.
Right. So, what are your frustrations now, or what were your frustrations then?
My frustrations then were that I just felt out of control. Like, there was no help for him. There was no, I didn't know what to do. So that was my frustration, and of course with a psychologist. But my frustrations now, I thought that this was going to be, a life-changing, thing. He was going to special education school, and the teachers, and we're going to have meetings, like maybe once a month, sit-down meetings face-to-face, and really talk about how he's doing, how he's coming along, and his progress, and what we can work on at home. But I have heard absolutely nothing. I go to his class parties. I try to talk to the teacher, but of course during that time, during parties, you can't really.
It's hard.
It's hard, yeah. I have gotten no emails, nothing.
So in the progress report she sent home, there isn't much like
There
specific
we
detail.
we do get progress reports, and it's for a number system. It's based 1 through 5, and he is getting better. I see that he is making progress. This is the IEP progress report, annual goals. How is he meeting his annual goal? And it's getting better, which is great. But to me, he's also getting older. He's almost 5 now, and that has a lot to do with it. If every single student, if every single child had an IEP, I'm sure they would also make progress because they're getting older. They're learning a lot more. They're learning how to behave. They're learning how to be social. So is it because he has high functioning autism spectrum? Blah, blah, blah? I don't know. I don't know. And do we put him in a normal school next year? I don't know that either because no one's told me anything. I don't know. I don't know if I should enroll him in a normal school. I don't know if he should still go to special education. Are the teachers going to be calling me every single day if he goes to a normal school because he all of a sudden has an outburst or something? I don't want that, but I don't want him to be sent to a special education school if he really doesn't need it.
Right. So you basically feel like this individualized education program is not individualized. It's kind of like everyone in the class is progressing, but it's not individually like Matthias is doing this, Matthias is doing that.
It's individualized on paper.
Okay.
That's how I classify it. It's very individualized. I have a whole binder of IEP stuff for Matthias James Raincourt. But me, it's to...
You're not engaged in
Yeah, that's not individualized for me. There are 8 kids in his class, so it's not a huge class, and half of them are, I hate using this word, no, they do not have any special needs.
Okay, so it's an inclusive class.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I wonder why they grouped only 8 of them together and only a few of them are not special ed and some are.
It's 4 and 4. Yeah, and there's one child in that class that's...
Maybe they lie high on the spectrum or something?
No.
Oh, that's so strange.
No, they have like interviews, and interviews with the parents, and if they
say yes?
Yeah, if they say yes, and the parents of course are going to say sure, because they don't have to pay for preschool. They don't, it's,
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't, but I'm under the impression that it's free. But yeah, there's one student in his class that does not speak and that has severe issues, and so that's fine to me because if Matthias can see that we're all the same, no matter what issues we have, I'm all for it.
Right.
I'm all for that. I have no issues whatsoever. But I think my frustration now is I would like to be more engaged. I mean, it's my son, and you're telling me that he has special needs. I kind of want to know what's going on.
Right.
I kind of want to know what we should work on at home. I want to know, what did he do? Like, is he happy? Is he
yeah.
He comes home some days and he says that he had a new teacher today or this and that, and what?
And you have no idea what's going on.
No idea. He does bring home a daily activity sheet, and the teacher signs it, and she checks off what they did today. But I just feel like she does that she does do that for every child in the class, but it's not enough for me. And maybe that's just me.
No, that totally
But I
makes
think
sense.
if any other parent out there that
wants to be super engaged in their child's
Yeah,
education
of
would want
course.
more.
Of course. I mean, it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, totally agree. And what are your thoughts on Matthias's future as you guys are moving to a new school?
I touched on that briefly in the previous question. I don't know if next year it's kindergarten.
Right. Do you know if his IEP stays with him to a new state, a new school?
No idea. I have no
Yeah, you should
idea.
definitely.
I mean, of course, I'm going to save everything, but I need to know that. I need to know, do I transfer, does everything get transferred to our new school because we're moving to Massachusetts? Does that all get, do I have to? I don't know. I don't know. But as far as Matthias's future, I have no concerns. I have
Right.
absolutely no concern. Okay, the only concern I have, he might get picked on because he's very particular about certain things. Um, he gets he gets mad when things are not
His way.
his
or,
way. That's like other children too. But he's extremely smart, and there are a lot of famous people, alive and dead,
Of successful.
extremely successful. Steve Jobs had high functioning autism disorder. I think Einstein. There are Bill Gates. So could I see Matthias be this computer whiz nerd working for NASA, sending people to planets we don't even know about today? Yeah, I do. I have no issues with that. What I am worried about is his social interaction with the other children,
Right.
and that the teachers don't understand that. And if he's around teachers that don't understand how to handle that, or automatically jump to the conclusion that he's autistic, he needs to be separated.
Right.
That's how it was at his previous school, and it killed me. And I don't want that for him in the future.
Right. Well, I think you're gonna have no problems with him as he gets older. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me.